Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello, my lovely viewers. Today is another wonderful evening. I'm so happy to be with you. I always thank God that He gives us Thursdays. Thursdays are special days for families. As I told you, this month is just for men. And we want to just learn about them, study them, know them, and go deeper to know how they even behave so the women can handle them very well in the home. And their children can also enjoy their presence. Today we are going to discuss the modern man. You'll be surprised to know the people I'm here with. I'm here with one gentleman that I called the macho elder. He is a church elder who is well built, a CEO of a company. And then I have another woman who is also a CEO of a company. She's also a managing director. And I have a mental health activist and then HR practitioner. They are coming to join their experience together for us to understand who a real modern man is. Also, my name is Mrs. Betty Adom, and I have with me Mr. Kobna Holman.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Charlie, today it will be wow. And then, Mrs. Pipra, Patricia Pipra, is here with us. She is the managing director for PW Reservations. Wow. Please reserve fufu for me this evening. Or fufu is not part of it. So that after this, around 12 a.m., I can go and eat.
I'll help
and then the Holman is the CEO for Holman Consulting Limited. They do a lot of accounting services. We will not go there. We will get him when we get to him. And then I have with me Mrs. Constance Boache Ejapon joining us on Zoom. Mrs. Wow. Wow. Good evening, and how are you?
We are very good. How are you too?
I'm also fine. I know you are now in your small village.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the village, and when you can, please bring ice, okay?
Oh, do we bring ice from villages?
Wow. So my dear viewer, today is a wonderful day and I want you to join us. You can join us on our WhatsApp page, on our Facebook and our YouTube. If you have any question, you can also send to us. And then if you have any contribution, if you want to share your experience, kindly join us and let's have a wonderful discussion. My name, as I said, is Mrs. Betty Adom. My dress is wonderfully designed by Our Creation, and then ATL is giving us the fabric. So we thank you, ATL, for supporting us with the fabric, and then Our Creation for creating this wonderful, beautiful dress for today's modern man. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Elder, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I don't know whether to call you Elder or to call you Holman, because when I call you Holman and you go to church, will you punish me?
Call me Holman and be free.
Very good. So, Kobna Holman, in
Yes.
fact, tell us a little about yourself.
What is there to say? I come from Cape Coast.
Ogwe.
Yes, Ogoy.
Very good.
From Bacano, precisely. Yes, from Bacano.
Good.
Currently, I run Holman Consulting.
Okay.
We specialize in helping companies computerize their accounts department, their HR department, and then their payroll.
Okay. So that as soon as you finish, you sponsor Family Life for making your access. If this is what you are going to say, hold for me and let me go to Mrs. Patricia.
All right.
Pat,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm fine.
A little about yourself. Let my viewers know you.
Okay.
And I'll come to you, Elder Holman.
Okay. Like you said, I'm Patricia Pipra,
Okay.
a Nodna by birth
Wow.
and an Ashanti by marriage.
Yes, that is Dr. Pipra's wife. Good.
I'm the managing partner for PWP Reservations Limited.
Okay.
We handle hotel bookings, conferences and events.
Very good. You are welcome.
Thank you.
How was your day?
I would say very busy because I had an event this morning
Good.
and I had to rush here right after the program.
Good. Mrs. Constance Boachie Japan, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I think I am no new person to Hope TV family life.
Wow.
So my name is still Constance, and I am happily married to Mr. Japon.
A modern man, of course.
a very, very modern man. And I am an HR practitioner with one of the very good standing banks in Ghana.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I am also a mental health activist, looking to have a very sound community for myself and all other people around me.
Wow. Thank you so much. So I believe today the discussion is going to be hot. Yes, we will just start from elder, okay? Because we just want to know about who a modern man is. Frankly speaking, now I can see people with beard, long dresses, and who is the modern man?
What can I say? A modern man is somebody who understands the environment in which he lives in, and understand the role that he needs to play in that environment. Once there is a modern man, that means there is an ancient man. So, yes, so the difference just being that we now live in an era where things are changing. So, fashion is changing, education is changing, technology is changing, the way we are building our houses is changing, culture is even changing, the way marriage is changing, everything around us is changing. So a modern man is somebody who appreciates all these changes and then fits himself into these changing rules to make sure that he still remains relevant in these changing spheres. And also not forgetting the past, but picks attributes from the past which are relevant in these modern times and then blends them to guide him as he lives his life. So that's what I would say about the modern man.
Very good. Because we are on men, let me follow up with a question. You were talking about picking past attributes to live within the modern era. Can you be specific?
No, our cultures have some values and norms that we cannot throw away, like respect for the elderly. I mean, these days we talk about human rights, freedom of speech and all of that. In our context, let me say the Ghanaian context, in as much that you have your freedom to speak, you should also sometimes situate it within our cultural settings. And I think it might vary from other places, but here in Ghana, when you address an elderly person, even if the elderly person is wrong, you choose your words carefully. You still say what you want to say, but then you bring that value that tells you to respect the elderly in the discourse, because they tell you sometimes that even the truth must be spoken wisely. Yes, so even though you are speaking the truth, that culture of respect for the elderly will be brought in to help with your discourse. So those are some of the things that you carry along with you. Not that because you are in a modern era, everything is computerized and all of that, you just throw away your values. Your value system should always guide you as you move along.
So before we move into the real situation, I'm still on you. Growing up from Bakado, a Cape Coastanian or a Cape Coaster, so let me say that. What were some of the values that nurtured you, that's from this time that you are living as a modern man? You can say it was very helpful, and it has been helpful right now that you are living.
No, you see, where I live in Cape Coast is it's a bit, what should I say? It's made up of three group of people. You have the elite on one side, the middle class on the other side, and you have the fishermen and the rest on that side. So you are living and communicating with this group of people. And you need to make sure that in your daily activities with them, you don't affect their sensibilities. Because the way you approach somebody who has the same mental faculty as you, how intelligence as you, is different from when you are dealing with a fish. I can't remember growing up playing football. Some that they can even insult you, and the insult is I use fork to eat.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the mere fact that the mere fact that you use fork to eat, and that means
there is no sense.
Yes, I should use fork to eat.
Okay.
So it teaches you how to calm down, to deal with people who are not on the same level with you, and that is life.
Okay.
So for me, I'm able to fit into whichever area I go. I can talk to the people up there. I can talk to the people at my level. I can go down there and still relate, and then life goes on.
Wow, that is a modern man. In fact, we are still talking there. Mrs. Pipra, from your women point of view, okay, just say a little about who a modern man is.
Okay, the question is a bit interesting.
Good.
And for me, even though we are living in the modern era, I believe that not every man living in this era is a modern man.
Okay.
I say this because for me, I think a modern man should be open-minded.
Okay.
So you could be very young, you could be living in this era, but if you are not open-minded, you cannot consider yourself as a modern man. A modern man should be very confident, should be bold. And when I talk about confidence, I mean somebody who can wear pink shirts.
Wow.
Feel shy. Yes, because that's the trend.
Pink is for women.
Exactly.
No, pink is also
so no restrictions.
No restriction. Very good.
So I would want to look at it from that angle.
Very good.
You are open-minded. You want to not necessarily embrace the things happening around you, but then you want to appreciate the things like Elder Holman said. You want to appreciate the things happening around you. Once you're able to do all of this, you can't consider yourself as a modern man.
Wow. Constance!
Auntie Betty.
My dear, your point of view. The modern
So
man.
I'm very happy with what Mrs. Pipra just said, because when I think of a modern man, I think I share the same views with her, a man who is open-minded. And I think looking at a modern man, we have to look at it in our African context.
Okay.
Because, for instance, what maybe somebody in Europe could consider as a modern man can be quite sophisticated in our environment. So I would just like to understand that we are actually situating this
within
in our culture and our economy.
Very good.
And I rightly agree with her saying that it's all about a man who is open-minded to the changing times, embracing that which is good and living by it. Because not all modern trends are trends for modern men. If you are a modern man and people are going wayward does not make you a modern man. If you need to maintain certain standards, both for yourself, for your home, your family, and your society as large.
So are you telling us that we need not to follow trends, because that is what is trending? You could see what I even like most is when you listen to radio stations and other things, that you go on Twitter, oh, what is trending in the fashion sector, what is trending, what car is trending. Are you telling us that we shouldn't follow this trend as modern men?
Okay, so if you are a modern man, one of the things that you should always factor in your decisions is some sense of intelligence. If you intelligence and intellect, to say, because if everybody is pulling their shorts down, and that is the trend, and that does not fit for your purpose, being a modern man does not mean follow that trend.
Okay.
Everybody is doing a certain haircut, and that is the fashion of the day. I think you mentioned something about leaving beard and all of that. If that does not fit even for your profession, assuming you are a doctor, and that does not fit for your profession, the fact that you're a modern man does not mean you should follow that trend.
That's interesting. So now let's come to the changing the situations in our society. Okay, so we can say that right from the beginning we were having some changes when it comes to our technologies and the rest. Now we are in a fully developed technological world, and a lot are coming in, a lot are revolving. Let's say what are the expectations that people are looking up to from a modern man, if you consider yourself to be a modern man? In the era of technological world, how should you behave, your expectation, people's expectations on your life and you yourself?
Well, I think that as a man in this space, you should be aware of the changes that is happening around you. When it comes to, let's say, in terms of information technology, these days, COVID has taught us doing meetings online. So you should be aware of the tools that are available for you to use. When it comes to travel, portals you can use for your bookings, so like she rightly said that that's what she does. So you need to be aware of the technological changes that is happening. And I mean, it's beautiful for a man to be knowledgeable about things. It gives you the confidence. Okay. So when it comes to those areas, it's not like they ask you, oh, somebody tweet and they ask, what is Twitter? You see, in these days, you'll be looked at as some Cro-Magnon man somewhere. So you'll be able to know what is happening in the space. Okay. Not, let's say, to be an IT savvy or very, very technical savvy to know the nitty-gritties. But then the common things that we use every day for our things, you should be aware of it. I mean, we have Android phones, we have the, what do you call it, iOS and all those. So you need to know some of these things. I mean, for you to stay,
you can't navigate your way even through a phone.
Exactly, that's the thing. So you need to not to be ahead or behind, but then be at a level where it's manageable.
Must I use sophisticated gadgets so people will know that yes, I'm also a modern man?
No, for me it's more of what you use it for. I mean, these days people go for the phones we use. People barely use 10% of the capacity of the phone. So they hear iPhone 12 Pro Max is what is in vogue and everybody is going for it. I would read about it and know the advantages and whatever of it, so that when the issue come up for a discussion, I'm not an illiterate in that space, but at least I know what it's all about. Okay. But the question is, does it serve my purpose now? I will say no. So I'll go for what serves my purpose now, but then at least have a knowledge about what is in vogue. If you have the means and you want to get it, why not? To be trendy, and to be trendy, to be fashionable also increases the man's pride. Okay. Because I mean, you enter into a room, a man wants to be seen. I mean, the way he's dressed, the way the perfume he's wearing, the watch he's put on, the phone he's holding.
I will come to the dressing. Because that area is very important. But let me situate this in a context of gadgets, okay? Yeah. A modern man's room, a modern man's handset. You see this my yeah. Hello. Yes, that is the no. I mean, we want to see.
Yes,
how
you enter into a modern man's home these days. At least you have your LED TV there. Some are smart, not the Tikopo as we used to call it. You have your LED TV there. Some QLED, some curved TV. Also, we were brand TV. You have your sound system there, your woofers and the rest.
Playing some cool
exactly
music, knowing the situations and the terrain.
Exactly. Before even coming these days, you can use your remote control to open your gate. Pay hard. So those, yeah, so those things, yeah. So you come there. These days, I mean, most homes you go there is Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a normal, it's a new normal. Like if you go to any modern man's home, there should be Wi-Fi, because I mean, you on the phone working, so you're on the internet working, your kids are also studying using it, so it has to be there. So
there is no way of denying the family from the modern things that are happening. Yes. Let me get to Patricia. Yes. Pat, the modern man's room gadgets. and other things. Where the women perspective. So I can say that, no, that's my man. Yeah, Charlie is a modern man.
Okay. So I would want to say that in terms of technology, in terms of gadgets, as you've mentioned, the modern man should be trending enough to know which gadgets he can use to help the family.
Very good.
You may know all the stuff happening around you. You may be on top of social media trends, etc. But if it doesn't benefit your family, if you don't use it to enhance the relationship between you and your partner, the relationship between you and your children, if you don't use the technology to improve the welfare of your children, then you are not being modern enough. Because people want to get all the latest gadgets, but does it help the family? Does it help your children?
So you are saying that being a modern man, you must always have the family also at the back of your mind, that you belong to a family.
Exactly, because I believe that things happening around us should serve a good purpose. It should help improve our lives. Back then, those days, we didn't have access to all of these things. We had to struggle. Even if you need to, maybe you are in school, you want to reach out to your parents, etc. No phone, nothing. You either call maybe a phone booth, then somebody would have to run and go and call your mother to just come in and speak to you. Maybe you need something urgently. So being a modern man, now that you have access to all of these things, how are you using it to enhance the family relationship? How are you using it to help your children improve on their academics, improve on their social lives, etc.? This is very important to me as a woman, because if you have access to the iPhones, etc., and you are using it to benefit somebody out there.
Go for it. You are using your Constance. Pat is saying if you are using your iPhone to benefit somebody somewhere, then it means you are not a modern man. What is your take on this?
I think that I am totally on Team Pat this evening. If this was to be a debate, because I like all the things that she's saying for the modern man from a woman's perspective. And just to add a little to that, I think that she rightly said a modern man should have, if it's about gadgets, have gadgets that are functional. Because if you have items that does not benefit anybody in the home, then of what use is it? So, and a modern man should have an appreciation for modernization when it comes to items in the home. Having a machine, for example, is not a big deal. But I know we have not spoken about the traditional man. You may have a man who would say, oh, as for me, if you put it in the washing machine, make my clothes 2 weeks. No, a modern man has an appreciation for all these that enhances work to be done in the home. A modern man could have like a shaving machine to shave his beard, instead of having this blade to take some razor bumps and some sensitive skin that modern men should try.
Charlie, please, let's zoom quickly into the family side, okay?
Sure.
Marriage itself, because the purpose of all that we are saying is about marriage, okay? If you're a modern man and your marriage is not, so how do a modern man fit in, like prepare the wife, the children in a way that when you are going and they see you and what is following you, there is no difference? How does it work?
No, I think these days the way we marry is different from back then. The men these days, or the modern man, is more participatory in the upbringing of the children. It's not left for the woman alone. So the man helps with some homes. You go, the man be bathing the children, dressing them, some changing diapers, some even taking care of the children whilst the woman goes to work. So the man is involved. He's not left with the woman alone. You spend time with the family. In as much that we are all busy people. We'll have to make sure that we strike a balance.
A balance, okay.
Between our work life and then our home. Because what's the point of working, making all the money, and at the end of the day, you come back and your home is broken or your kids are wayward. So that balance is very necessary. If you are not even available because of your work schedule, the very few times you have to try and make time. And when you make that time you have to make sure that you make an impact in the lives of your children. Here we're not used to taking vacations, taking holidays, but I think it's changing now. The trend is changing now. Our perception about vacations, normally we think we need to travel abroad or travel up, but there's local tourism. But it's heartwarming to travel outside and realize that most families are out there spending some quality time together. It's all part of the way marriage is changing in this modern era. We are moving away from the typical stereotype man of the house business now into a participatory marriage where we are all involved and making sure that we bring the kids up in the way that we want them to be. And above all, you can't take out you have not talked about the God factor too, because I mean, what's the point of doing all of this and then losing heaven? So as a modern man who wants to go to heaven, you have to also make sure that you are not going alone, but you are going together with your family.
Okay, so let me pick on you on the participatory marriage here. How beneficial is it and how should it be participatory? In which areas? Elder, let me ask you, will you go to the market to shop for your wife?
Yeah, it's not something that, let's say, I do regularly. Okay, so there are things I buy. So the rice, the milk, the
Are you part of those who are preventing the women from taking chobo? Okay, so the modern man.
Yes, I mean, some go to the market. If I happen to be there,
okay,
I'll buy it. But when I come on, you ask me how much did I buy it, I won't tell you. Because most of them are not, they'll tell you what So that one I won't tell you.
Okay.
But things that are standardized, rice, milk, if you walk into the mall, those times the prices are there. It's the same BNM. So just go then, just buy.
Why wouldn't you go to the main market, seeing that women over there?
For me, it's out of compassion because, like I said, if I walked into a mall where this...
Okay, so let me come with this point. As a modern man, when you go to your traditional market, how should your behavior be?
It depends on your pocket, actually. It's a typical market where you do the bargaining.
Okay.
Personally, I don't like the bargaining.
Why?
Because, like I was telling you, I walk into a mall. These guys are multi-millionaires. I don't bargain. They tell me this price is 2 cedis. I buy and I go. I go into the market. There's this poor woman sitting there selling me contemporary for 10 cedis. And I'm going to argue with that person. You see, for me, because of that, that's why I don't try. If I get it, whatever you mention, I'll buy and I'll go. If I think it's too much, I'll just move on.
Okay.
But I'll buy, no negotiate, and then it's alcohol tissue or tissue from 10 cedis, or you buy it 8 cedis. Maybe my wife can buy that thing for 3 cedis. So I'll buy it 8 cedis, thinking of my tissue 2 cedis. But when you come with it, why do you call it only 2 cedis? And you feel so stupid.
So you prefer going to the supermarket?
Yes, buy those things. But if I buy from the market too and I come and you ask me, oh, but yeah, how much did you buy it? I won't tell you.
Oh.
You just take it. My husband has gone to market. Okay. He's bought me plantain. Pick it and use it and cook. How much I bought it, let me worry about that
one. Today, you know what? I'm so excited because I just want to be on it, because we have to, we as women, okay, we are also modern women, and we need to understand some of their behaviors, because there are times some of these behaviors are causing a lot of trouble in the home. Why this, why that, why that? So we want to know all the why.
Let me even say this. You see, I think that as men, the more you even try to go into the details of the things that are bought from the market, you eventually realize that your wife tops up most of the time.
So you won't go into
Yes. If you have that conversation that she sits down want to write for you about those things, these two blah 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 blah, realize that the money you even gave her for the market is more.
Wow.
But because you have tabled it down, they spend sometimes without, most will spend without writing.
Okay.
They will spend without writing. Okay, she's made a list to go and buy 6 items. She gets them and remembers that, oh, there is this other item which is not there. She'll pick from her pocket and add up. But you pay for it anyway.
You pay in the modern way.
Yeah, you pay for it anyway. But so if you want to go into details, you end up having to reimburse.
Okay,
so me as a matter of principle,
so the modern man will not go into any detail.
We have
but I learned you have all your budgets on your gadgets.
Yes, we have a budget. Okay, fine. In terms of food, gross in the home, we spend, let's say, 1,000 cedis a week or 500 a week or whatever. Once that money is gone, it's gone.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, if you want to now get in there to scrutinize every bit of it, most often than not, you need to top up the 500 or the 1,000 cedis that you give your wife.
Okay.
Because
so for modern man, participatory marriage is very, very important. Let's continue to our workplace, and Pat will pick this one for me. The modern man, what do you expect from a modern man at the workplace? And we will come back to what you expect from your husband. Okay, so let's continue.
Modern man at the workplace. I think that the modern man should be mindful of his grooming.
Okay.
Because the workspace is completely different from the home space. So you should be mindful of your grooming. You should know how to talk, when to talk, and who to talk to.
Okay.
There are things that you can do at home that may not be appropriate at the workplace. I know every work environment has its own ethics. They have their own house rules, etc. The modern man should be able to fit into that space.
You need not to fight with women. Do you have to argue with them? Oh, but you have a woman who is troublesome in the office. Don't you need to fight with her?
We don't fight at the office.
Okay.
I believe every conversation that happens at the office is for a good reason.
Okay.
And even though we say men don't fight women, a modern man should be free enough to say yes or no, depending on the situation.
But do you have to use your macho and your build-up to bully some of the women over there?
No.
No. Why not? You are a modern man, well built, okay, well dressed up.
No, because I believe that every individual working in the company was employed based on his or her qualification, based on his skills, etc. The fact that you are a man doesn't make you a better person than the woman who is working in that office. So you can only judge and get the best solution for the company. You don't have to bully the woman.
Okay.
Gone are the days when they say, okay, women are weak. Yes, we are still the weaker vessels. But then, hey, education has created a difference.
Because, you know, I'm saying this because there was a time a man walked into my office that I want to have this project with you. We went through the project and I saw that it was a very good project that will help schools. So we began just doing up and down, searching, trying to see how we can help. And then it got to a point, one meeting, saying, hey, I'm talking and you need not to talk back. Betty, don't you think that I can be your husband? I said, please, hold on. We are not here for husband and wife.
Thank you.
Put the husband aspect when we go home, you practice it. As for here, okay? And even my husband at home, he listens to me. I have the right to talk. So and he is a well-built man. When you see him, you see, oh yes, this is a modern man. But using that aspect to let you know that you are a woman, you elder, how?
No, I see. Being a modern man, I would say also is a process. because the demands of the modern man is a lot, and you cannot find all in one person.
Okay.
So it's a process that evolves. Yes, you look at him and you think is modern, but his attitude tells you that yes, he's not gotten there yet. I mean, for me, I keep telling people, if you're a man and you tell your wife that I'm the man of the house, you've lost it.
Why? But he wants you to know that.
Why? Why should she know that you are the man of the house?
But why?
If you are the man of the house, your wife knows that you are the man of the house. You need not tell her you are the man of the house. So the mere fact you opening your mouth to tell her that you are the man of the house tells me that something is amiss.
Okay.
And therefore, you now want to reinforce your position at home.
Wow.
You get it? I mean,
yes.
In a workplace, we work and you brought something that we're discussing. It is what we're discussing that is the issue, not the personalities involved in.
Yes.
But they see some men who have not fully metamorphosized into
the modern man, still have
that Cro-Magnon man's way of thinking. You see, some people can't take dissenting views from the woman.
Yes.
Or when in a conversation they realize that the woman is making superior arguments, it hurts their ego.
Okay.
And therefore want to use bully. Machoism. Machoism has no space in a modern man. You fight with your intellect.
Okay.
If you think you are strong, you make superior arguments. Let your argument win the case for you, not macho.
And I'll follow it up. How do modern men win arguments? So we'll come back to that. But let's go to Constance. Constance, we are still talking about the workplace and the modern man. And then you just say a little in relation to the self-image.
Okay, so I think I'd like to just give two illustrations. I think the panel has said most of it. I think the modern man actually behaves in a gentleman manner in the workplace. Traditionally, a man might feel, oh, when we are entering a door, I enter, I go and find the most comfortable seat, and then I am the man. But a modern man knows to open doors for a woman, to ensure that the woman sits and is comfortable, and it's open-minded about some of these things. And in the workplace, just like Elder was talking about, the modern man is not looking at the personality of the woman, but actually looking at the role that the woman occupies in the workplace. Because I'll say that it is about the seat that I sit on, not our age difference, our gender difference, or our race. So modern men are open-minded about some of these things in the workplace. And just to add a little to what Mrs. Pepper was talking about. So I think we would say modern men are more like what in Tree we would say, I would like to emphasize that being modern doesn't mean being rich. Okay. There are people who have money and they don't know how to use the money. Okay. And there are people.
So in this case, you are talking about Prema in Yankasa.
You see, we don't say enye Premeni yonkuni sikeni, no, enye sikeni no yonkuni Premeni, because the Premeni can have just one iPhone but can make use of it, and you realize that she's flexing with it.
Wow. I like that. Seriously.
Yes. But then
okay, so we are still talking about the image, the self-image of the modern man in the workplace, and she will join us when it comes. So your image and winning arguments, that is what we want to blend. As a modern man, how do your self-image in your workplace, in your home, in your society, even in your church, and how you do win your arguments? How should it go?
No, I think that in terms of self-image, They say they address you by how you dress.
Okay.
So you need to know where you are going and how you need to dress for that function. So if you're going for work, you dress like you are going to the workplace to work. If you are going for an official function, which requires that you dress formally, you dress formally. If they say smart casual, you dress smart casual. If they say traditional, you dress. So you dress according to the functions. I mean, there's nothing beautiful about a man who is knowledgeable about a subject and is confident in his delivery.
Very good.
That is how you win argument. If you want to win an argument, make sure that you're knowledgeable about the subject. You yourself have sat down, analyzed the issues, look at the pros and cons, and taking a stand on the issue. You go into the room, you deliver, state your position as much as you can. Sometimes,
is it in a flexible manner or in a way that people will see, hey, we need to fear this man?
No, it's all about fear. I mean, yes, people might be afraid of you, but we are not afraid of your knowledge. Yes, when we see you, we are afraid of you. But if you come and stand there and you talk, sometimes out of fear, might not be able to tell you in the face, but in their minds, you don't have our respect. Yeah, so the modern man, you make sure that you're always on top of issues. If you don't have the knowledge, you research. That is why there are so many research tools available to you. My former boss will tell you the knowledge is not what is in your head, but knowing where you can get the knowledge to is knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not only
knowing where you can get the knowledge.
Yes, it's knowledge.
It's also
yes.
Oh, okay.
But it's not only what is in your head. You can't have everything in your head. But something comes up, I don't understand. But I know that when I go to this place or that place, I can get that information. It's also knowledge.
Okay.
Yes. And sometimes not being confident to, feeling shy to ask your colleagues, your friends for support. It doesn't take anything away from you. I remember there was a day I was doing a presentation at the client's place. They asked me a question and I didn't know. And I'm the consultant. Then I realized there was a small boy in the account office who knew it because I'd seen him do that thing. I just told him I want to use the washroom. I quickly rushed down. I asked the gentleman, he explained to me. I went up there, went to run my mouth. At the end of the day, who knows I was the young man who taught me? Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah.
But I knew where to go and get. So that is that we need to be, like we keep saying, open-minded. The mere fact that you are the boss doesn't mean you know everything. The mere fact that you're a team leader doesn't mean you know everything. You'd always have to know your limitations, your weakness, and then seek help when it becomes necessary.
Very good. Your self-image, know how to seek help when it is very, very important. But your self-image as a man, how you carry yourself, your beard, your ears, your perfumes, your skin, your dresses, how does it play when it comes to a modern man?
I think we've talked about the fact that the modern man should be confident. Okay, and being confident means you can do whatever you want, and still get the results that you want. You know,
I'm coming. I want you to pause here and go for break. My dear viewer, we are going for a short break. When we come back, we are going to see how best a modern man appearance, can really make him a modern man. Don't go away. We shall be right back.
Hope Channel presents an evening of gratitude and praise featuring Besdak Praise.
Jesus takes me into his loving arms.
Special guest, Pastor Dr. Divine Aivo.
But my friends, when the storms come, don't dismay. There is a man who can rebuke it on your behalf. There is a man who can tell those storms, peace, be still, and the devil will leave you alone.
Date 26 June 2021, 4 p.m. live on Hope Channel.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
For hanging on with us, okay? We are so grateful that you are still joining us, and we are discussing the modern man. In fact, my guests have spoken a lot, and I'm learning a lot from them. I want to say that I'm here with Mr. Kobna Holman. He's a consultant. He runs Holman Consultancy. They do a lot of accounting issues and the rest. And then Mrs. Pipra, Patricia Pipra, she's a hotelier. She does a whole lot of work when it comes to event organization and the rest. And she is with PW Preservations. Okay, reservations. And then Mrs. Constance Boachi Ejapon, my HR professional and then mental activist. They are all here. And they are ready to let us know the self-image of a man in the home, at workplace, in the church, and within the society. What role does your self-image play when we say you are a modern man? My name is Mrs. Betsy Adom, and my outfit is being given to me by ATL, a very wonderful design from our creation. You are welcome. Let's join. Please, we need your comment on our WhatsApp page and then Facebook. Just send us your comment, your experience that you have. Growing up as a modern man, what do you think? Yes, Pat.
Yes.
I just want you to talk about the self-image of a modern man in the home. Okay, the image.
The image of a modern man.
Yes, in the home.
Okay. So, I would want to take it from this angle.
Okay.
You know, in the past, a man who is of age, who wants to settle, would rely on the recommendations of maybe his mother,
Okay.
to maybe pick a wife for himself. These days, the modern man would want to start by dating a woman, getting to know the woman. Okay, and as they go as they move on, as they study each other, the woman is able to detect or maybe pick the things that she wants to see in her husband. So, looking at the home now, if you are married to a man who says, yeah, I'm a modern man, I know everything that's happening, all the trending things, I know and I'm part of it, but does not take good care of himself in terms of grooming, etc., then you would have a challenge as a woman. A man, well, I've heard so many stories. Some say some men have, excuse my language, some smelly panties, etc. They just leave it for...
Not excusing, okay.
They wear maybe, let's say, one boxer for like a week, drop it in the laundry basket and expect the woman to wash. I mean, we are partners.
Kobna Holman, why are you laughing? You know your wife is watching you. In fact, his wife is sending us message. Mrs. Ellen Holman, thank you for watching us. I always say that you people and you have cheated married couples. How can the two of you marry? Very beautiful woman and very handsome man. Anyway, let's go on, Pat.
Okay, so you see, your wife is is your partner. You are in the home business together.
Okay.
And a modern man should respect the woman. If you know that your woman will be the one doing the washing, etc., why would you allow your stuff to get so dirty just because you know you are not the one going to do it, but the wife will do it? And it's interesting to know that there are some people living in this modern era who would want, let's say, their partners or their wives to still do things the traditional way. For example, washing. There are some men who say, look, if you don't wash with your hands, I don't think you've done the washing. He expects you to wash with your hands so that he knows that, yes, you are washing.
Now washing blue.
Exactly my point. But you see, these days, things are moving very fast. The modern era is a very fast period. And you don't expect the woman to spend hours doing the laundry, cooking, etc. We need to use some of the modern things that we have around us to speed up some of the chores we do at home. So when it comes to self-image, like Kobna mentioned earlier, we address you by your dressing, by the way you carry yourself, etc. So if you are a modern man and you are at home, we need to see the modernity in you.
The modernity in you. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Let me pick some comments from our Facebook page. Please. Your wife is saying that I'm watching with you. So, Mrs. Holman, thank you for watching us, okay? Your husband is here. We want you, I will meet you. I want to see whether he has done the modern men in the house. And then I have, Madam Comfort and Padu. You said, good performance, Mr. Holman, from Mrs. Comfort and Padu. You know him. You know her, and he's saying shout out to you. Mrs. Comfort Apedi, thank you for your message. We are so asking, join us with your messages and let us know who a modern man is to your perspective. Okay, so let's join Mrs. Constance Boachie Japan. Constance, the self-image of a man in the home. I just want us to wrap up with this. We will continue next week. Well, there are a lot of things that we need to talk about. We've not talking about you going to the kitchen to cook. Yes, okay. Constance, okay.
So since we are not talking about the kitchen as yet, I'll reserve that for next week. But when we come to the home and the modern man, and please, I'd like to apologize to your audience for cutting earlier on, because so when we have a modern man in the home, I would rather like to talk about the intangible details.
Okay.
In the family setting, because we're doing family life. So if you are the father in the home or the gentleman in the home, your presence should be felt as a modern man. One thing that I think we've spoken about this in the past, do not have things hanging all the way in the room with your things thrown all about. Why? Because you are grooming little ones in the house to pick on modernization. So ensure that the things that you are doing can actually carry the generation that you are grooming to the next level. And the way you treat the woman in your life also does matters in the home. By saying please, sorry, thank you to the mother, you, the modern man, is actually teaching your children the modern way of doing things, not the traditional way where men had, I think Elder spoke about this machoism and all that. No, it is no longer a trendy thing. Being able to say sorry when you offend is the new thing. And being the gentleman, not just in your workplace or at church, is also the new thing. So you said something also about how you appear and how it should also reflect on the people who follow you. When you are going to church and you believe it is nice to be in suit, ensure that the people in your life are all matching up to your standard.
Very good.
Don't look so posh, go to church, and then have your wife looking so wretched. If there is help, if it is help that she needs, give it to her. If you need to help the children all look smart and sharp, do it. That is what will show that you are a modern man. Not when in a very hot African weather you are wearing a suit. That is not what it means to be a modern man. When it comes to your appearance, if it is some kaftan, if it is some African wear that you need to just iron. Some people don't even like ironing their shirts. That's why me it is wash and wear. Iron it.
And even the type of iron they use in the home. I see you now say, okay.
Auntie Betty, you said it all. I'll leave that one day.
Thank you so much. But she touched on a very important aspect I want us to, within this short period, we have just 4 minutes. You know, some men come home, their shoes are somewhere. Meanwhile, we have shoe rack in the home and the saints. A modern man.
Yeah, I think it's necessary. Some of us sweat on our feet a lot, so if you wear your shoe without socks over a period of number of days, you get the smell. So if you want to wear the shoe without the socks, there are powders you put on your feet to curtail the smell. And again, too, you don't wear one socks over a number of days. If you know you have that problem where you sweat on your feet, you wear one socks per day. It keeps your leg fresh. And there are times you put your leg in water, just warm water, just to wash it. You put powder on your leg before you wear your socks.
Do you go for massage?
No, my wife massage me. I also massage her, so I don't go out for massage.
You massage your wife massage?
Yes.
And then in the course of massaging, what happens? Okay, so we'll talk about that. We will talk about that. But we are still on modern man. So I just, because we cannot finish the topic, we'll really continue next week. But let's say something to our dear viewers. How should people see you if you really call yourself a modern man? And how do you fit yourself into the society as a modern man? Just short, and then we'll go for break. Okay,
I would say that just as we invest in learning in terms of our career, in terms of our profession, there's a need for us as men also to invest also in who we are and how we want society to see us, to play our role as the men that we ourselves want to be. So you go and pay for a course to go and do your master's, go and do your doctorate, go and do whatever. You need to also spend money to get resources on how you can improve yourself to be a better. Like I said, it's a process.
Okay.
If you look at all the qualities of a modern man, you can't have it in one person. There's a need for you to invest time in improving yourself to make sure that you are the best man on earth for your family, for the society at large.
Wow. Mrs.
Okay, so I would want to say that being a modern man, you should be trending enough and let that trait have an influence, a positive influence on your family, a positive influence on your children and then your wife. You should learn the modern things and use that to improve on the relationship that you have at home.
Good. Constance, your last words to your viewers.
So I think I would just say that modern men should just embrace modernization that are functional to the home. And if there are gadgets that can help improve lives for both yourself, your wife, the family, please invest money in it. It is not a big deal having a dishwasher at home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, Constance, I like you. Anyway, so I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad.
Yeah, we're so
and today
glad
has
to
been
here.
a fruitful discussion. Elder Kobna Holman. We can't stop calling you Elder. In fact, it's run through all your life.
Yeah.
And I saw a modern shoe with a modern man here. Don't mind me. So, Elder, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I have
for having
Mr.
us
Holman Kobna here, a consultant. And then he is the CEO for Holman Consulting. Today he was here, this evening, he was here to help us understand who a modern man is. And then Mrs. Patricia Pipra, a managing partner at PW Reservations. They do a lot of hoteliers and other things. They are going to sponsor Family Life, so we are so happy to have them here. And then Mrs. Constance Boachi Ejapon, who joined us from US. Constance, we are so grateful for joining us from your village and hope to always have you. Make sure when you are coming, you come with US to us. And my dear viewer, this is Mrs. Betty.
No problem.
My lovely costume was given to me by ATL, and then our creation just have this lovely design for me. If you want them to do your dresses for the Soul Kaba, ladies wear, office wear, bridal wear, customized dresses, they have 3 months courses, 2 months courses, 1 year courses. You can join them and you can reach them on 024-277-1519, 024-277-1519. Contact them and let them sew for you. Until we meet next week, the same time on Family Life, for us to continue with the modern man. I want to say practice the modern man in your home. And let's see how the home is going to turn around. Next week, share your views with us. May God bless you and may God watch over you till we meet once again next week. Have a good evening.